YouTube, what is going on? It's CoolStoryBrobat with the 30th Narrated Wi-Fi Battle. This is against a guy named Battle2962 off the Smoke on Battle Finder. And just for clarity's sake, his name actually is Battle2962, something like that. This is not like the 2,962nd battle. I didn't suddenly skip. But anyway, this is another UU battle, and looking at the teams here, the two, maybe three things I'm worried about on this team are the Raikou, the Machamp, and the Honchkrow. Honchkrow I'm not as worried about because I got like Bronzong and Slowbro as my physically defensive core. They can handle Honchkrow. They can eventually wear it down because Honchkrow does a lot of damage to itself most of the time with Life Orb and Brave Bird and such. Raikou, what I'm worried about is if it's the substitute Calm Mind Raikou, that Raikou can pretty much get in this team's face and do work if the right things are in place. You know, I'm really hoping it's not that Raikou, because if it's late game and I don't have the right Pokemon still alive, he could just come back and sweep me and shut me down. And it's happened before, and usually Raikou does give me problems. If it's Scarf Raikou, it's not a problem. I got Porygon too. Special Wall takes anything Scarf Raikou could throw at it. And it's Machamp. I've faced many a Machamp with this team before, but that does not make them any less threatening. Dynamic Punch is a problem. But anyway, let's get into this. So he leads off with his Roserade. I lead off with my Porygon too because I see he has Roserade, Gligar, and Frostlass here. And since he has Frostlass, and Frostlass always carries spikes, I know his Roserade either has toxic spikes or it's offensive with Sleep Powder. So I go straight for the Magic Coat, noting I'm going to have chances to capitalize with the move Magic Coat in this battle. Because the way Magic Coat is for me, like, I look at the other guy's team, and if I see Pokemon like Gligar or Roserade or Frostlass or things that set hazards and such, I know I can reflect them back early and get a good advantage. Like I just did here, I reflected Sleep Powder back at him. Since he has Natural Cure, he has to switch back out into his Frostlass. I go for the Discharge, predicting the switch, hoping I could cripple it with Paralysis. Unfortunately, I do not get the Paralysis on his Frostlass. But he withdraws it, sends out his Machamp, and, you know, I'm a little bit worried here. I switch out and send in my third place, my Bronzong, because, you know, I was ready to kill off his Frostlass with Gyro Ball, or set up rocks actually. And he goes for Bulk Up. Now I was expecting him to run Substitute Machamp, so, you know, I was going for his Stab Zen Headbutt to break his Substitute so that he'd be forced to either attack or do something else. But he runs Bulk Up, which is very interesting. It's something I have not really seen as of late. He goes for Dynamic Punch at +1. I'm physically defensive, so I can definitely take it. Max HP, max defense, relaxed nature, get at me. It barely does like 45% to me. I break through the confusion to get my Stealth Rocks up, fortunately for my part. And now I switch out here into Missy Elliott, Miss Magius, because I'm predicting him to go for either another Dynamic Punch or he goes for another Bulk Up, either one. If he goes for another Bulk Up, that's fine. If he goes for a Dynamic Punch, I can sponge it. Because, you know, now the play I'm making here is a bit interesting. Now, I run Specs Miss Magius, and with Modest Nature and Choice Specs, I know that his Machamp has a good amount of HP EVs because he's running Bulk Up. So I'm not going to try to Shadow Ball him. I'm just going to go for Choice Specs. I go for Trick and give him Choice Specs. So he hits me with a Choice Specs Payback. So his Specs Machamp is really effective, I swear. He KOs Missy Elliott, but I managed to trick him to the Choice Specs, so he's locked into using Payback. So now I can capitalize. I bring in Chili, my Weavile, and I go for the Swords Dance, trying to set up, you know, like I said, capitalizing. Gotta capitalize, but he stays in because he knows Weavile's frail and he's at +2, and I guess he doesn't want to, you know, lose that already. So he's doing damage on me with Payback, and it's like a 3-hit KO, even from that range at +2. So that should tell you that Weavile can take some not very effective hits. I go for the Ice Punch at +2. He's at +2, so it sort of cancels out. Bulk Up boosts his defense also. He goes for another Payback. It puts me very close to KO range, and bless the Hacks Gods. Bless the Hacks Gods here. Go for the Ice Punch. Froze him solid. Put him on ice. Chili chill. What is good? I go for another Swords Dance, capitalizing on this guy. And now in the event that he defrosts or switches out, I go for another Ice Punch just to kill it out. Because I know what's going to happen. After his Machamp dies, he's going to bring in Honchkrow to try to revenge kill me with Sucker Punch. I see this coming from a mile away. So I try to go for another Swords Dance just to waste his Sucker Punch, you know. Because Sucker Punch mind games are very dangerous, especially against a Pokemon that's setting up on you. Very dangerous. I go for another Swords Dance because I know he's going to go for another Sucker Punch. I went for a third Swords Dance, hoping he'd spam Sucker Punch again, but he goes for Pursuit. And honestly, I swear on everything, I was thinking about going for Ice Punch. It was like a little mental coin flip in my head. I figured I'd be safe and go for Swords Dance again, and then go for Ice Punch the next turn regardless. But he was smart, he went for Pursuit, killed off my Weavile. If he didn't, I would have gotten like a freaking 4-0, 5-0 sweep on him. I would have gotten a 5-0 sweep on him with Weavile, and it would have been brutal. But maybe next time, Chili, maybe next time. So anyway, I paralyzed this Slowbro as he went for a Sucker Punch. And I went for a Scald as he goes for a Pursuit, and at +1, Pursuit does a lot of damage even though I did not switch out. It just barely did like 55% on me or something. I went for a Slack Off, expecting him to go for a Sucker Punch because I wanted to get my health back up before I dish out another hit at him. And he goes for Brave Bird instead, which essentially kills himself in the process. Thank goodness I ran Slack Off, because if I didn't, Slowbro might have been, I don't know, I might have succumbed to the Sucker Punch mind games, but either way, it didn't happen, so let's not dwell on it. He sends out his Roserade here, and now I know I gotta switch into Porygon 2. I'm not gonna keep it in on a Roserade. Now I switch out to Porygon 2, switch out Slowbro to Porygon 2. Look at that. And I trace his Natural Cure, so even if he puts me to sleep, I can switch out. But I'm specially defensive, so I could even stay in actually if I wanted to. I go for Discharge as he misses his leaves, as he misses his Sleep Powder. And I get the Paralysis Hacks as he goes for a Leaf Storm. And he missed that also, which is crazy. It's crazy. I go for the Ice Beam, and look how much it does. It comes close to killing him, but it doesn't. He's paralyzed, he can't move, he switches out, probably try to kill something off later, and he goes to his Frostlass. And after Stealth Rock, it's about at half its HP. I go for the Ice Beam, hoping that would finish off his Roserade, but he switched it out. I go for the Magic Coat, playing it safe in case he tries to go for Spikes or Taunts or something. But he actually goes for Destiny Bond, expecting me to go for Discharge and all, and I can't let Porygon 2 die. I need Porygon 2 to finish off what he has left, and I know I do. So I go for third place, my Bronzong, as he sets up a layer of spikes on me. And now he goes for Destiny Bond again. I see it coming. There's obviously nothing else I'm going to do except go for the Gyro Ball. I'm going to go for the kill as he sets up Destiny Bond. Now, even though it's going to take myself out, Bronzong is the most expendable member at this very moment, because the only thing Bronzong can really take on his team is Raikou, because Bronzong has Earthquake. And like I said, I was worried about what set Raikou was running, so I didn't want to risk it. And plus, Raikou, even with Scarf, could put some holes in it, in my Bronzong, because it's physically defensive, not specially. But, you know what else is ironic? Third place was the third Pokemon to faint on my team. Ain't that crazy? But now, I know he's going to send out Raikou here, so I sent out Captain Striations, because I know that Machamp could one-hit KO with Dynamic Punch easy. In case, like, he might try to go for a Thunderbolt. I could tank it with as much HP as this thing has and just kill it with Dynamic Punch. But he Volt Switches, revealing to me that he must be Scarfed. He must be Scarfed. And he Volt Switches, sends in his Gligar, gets the momentum up on me. Good play on his part, because Gligar is a great physically defensive wall. I go for the Dynamic Punch, and look how much that did. That did next to nothing. But he's confused. And now, this is an interesting play. He actually goes for the late game Stealth Rock. Now, I have 3 Pokemon left. The one I have out resists Stealth Rock. Slowbro has Regenerator to, mitigate any Stealth Rock and hazard damage, even though he has a layer of spikes too. And Porygon 2 has Recover, so Stealth Rock was not very beneficial for him at this part. But as you'll see later, if he went for Earthquake, he would have weakened me to the point that I was too weak to make a substitute, and I would not have been able to set one up, and I would have been killed by 2 more Earthquakes. There's nothing I could have done. But I got my substitute up, and there's actually something else that he reveals later on his Gligar set. I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, he makes a really weird play here and sends out Raikou, and I know exactly why he does it. As I go for the Dynamic Punch and bomb his Raikou. Dynamic Pimp Hands right across the face. Get body free. Raikou goes down. What was formerly a big threat just got reduced to nothing, and I know exactly why he made that play. I'll explain it later. And he sends out Roserade because, he's pretty much running out of moves here. He's about to die. He goes for the Sludge Bomb. I went for another substitute expecting him to have Life Orb to kill himself off. But, he actually surprises me by not having Life Orb. He doesn't have Black Sludge either. So I'm guessing, and he can't be Specs since he has Sleep Powder, so he has to be running like Expert Belt probably. That has to be what he's running. But either way, I go for Ice Punch, finish off his Roserade after taking a Sludge Bomb, expecting him to die. But, you know, it happens. His last Pokemon is Gligar. He sends it out, and now, the reason why he didn't go for Earthquake, he reveals to me that his Gligar actually carries Knockoff instead of Earthquake. So, you know, he couldn't have done anything. It's a full support utility Gligar. How about that? I switch out Machamp and send in You Slowbro because I just want to get the Scald off on it. Hopefully get a burn on it. Because actually I was expecting that Earthquake. It's not here that he reveals he has Knockoff. It's not here. I go for the No, he goes for the Roost. Heals himself all the way back up. And now he goes for Toxic and he misses. Unfortunately. Not that it really mattered that much by this point. I go for the Sclad. Does like half to his Gligar. Just about half. Cuts him right down the middle. And he's just like, finish the game already. Just finish the game. Finish the game. So, you know, I gotta finish the game. Switch out, go to P2 unit, trace his immunity so that now I have the ability and I'm immune to Toxic, which is exactly what he goes for, unfortunately for him. You know, can't affect me. He goes for Knockoff right here. This is where he reveals he had Knockoff. And I go for Ice Beam, kills off his Gligar, and this is gonna be good game Battle 2962. Very good game. Sorry about the hacks, you know, I was apologizing during the match because I froze his Machamp out of nowhere. But, you know, things happen. You know, Weavile didn't really do much after Machamp went down anyway, so it's not like it totally mattered unless I suddenly pulled off that 5-0 sweep that didn't happen. But, yeah, his Gligar set was Knockoff, Roost, Toxic, and Stealth Rock. And so, you know, he didn't have Earthquake. If he did have Earthquake, like I said, he could have used it while I was trying to set up a substitute, and I would have been too weak to set one up. And since his Gligar outsped Machamp, he would have been able to kill my Machamp off, and I would have been too weak to make a substitute. So, you know, Machamp would have gone down, and Raikou would have been that much more of an immediate threat mentally to my team. But, you know, I still had Porygon 2 in the works. I still had, even without Eviolite, it could still tank hits from Raikou since he had Choice Scarf. If it was substitute called Mind Raikou and he had Earthquake on his Gligar, I might have been losing that battle, honestly, in my opinion. But like I said, good game. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I see you guys have been doing that a lot lately, and I'm very grateful. I appreciate it a lot. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more battles.